should be on. That the way. Should be good. Let's see if it's. First of all, I'm on the wrong page. Give me just a moment. There we go. I'm on the right page now. All right. Oi. Now I just gotta put myself back into the seat. All right. Alright, good evening everyone. It's 9:32 p.m. on a Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? I don't even know what day of the week it is anymore. It's Tuesday. Alright. For this stream, we're just going to time trial. I just want to chill out and see how many times I press the retry button before I have to go to sleep. And turn on the fan because it's actually already getting a little warm in here. Like, I would get the second monitor because I have the fan on. I'm worried that I'm probably gonna blow something up from having so many things on. But yeah, even though we've had race A couple times, this is one of those daily race combinations that for some reason intrigues me. At least it's for time trial. When it comes to daily racing, I'm not a fan of daily racing. Racing in sport mode, it's not really my thing nowadays. Kind of wonder if I can try to get into the low 120s before I have to go to bed. Might be a bit of a tall order because probably not going to be streaming for many hours. Might just do a little over 2 hours tonight. But anyways, let's go ahead and get this started. Yeah, I think I remember lower the volume so that way the car's not screaming in my ears. I haven't touched this daily race at all, so I'm going to be learning it as I go. So I'm going to be pretty rusty. I mean, it also doesn't help that I haven't been touching GT7 that much nowadays. I mean, I do remember, what was it, Saturday? I think it was Saturday where I did a bit more of the Spa that time challenge, because I actually think that one's pretty fun. At least on the wheel it's pretty fun. It's probably dreadful on the controller. And I think I was able to shave down more than half a second, but it was already getting pretty late, so I couldn't break into the next second barrier. The very first time this daily race combination showed up, I think I did decent. I think I was close to top 10, I think. I'm trying to think. I think I was just barely out of top 10. I'm not going to be expecting much since I'm pretty rusty, and as you can see, things are already going swimmingly. But if I can just get a low 120, at least tonight, you know, I'll be pretty happy with that. If not, then it is what it is. I feel like I'm at the lower to force feedback because I do feel it rumbling to a point where it's making quite a bit of sound. Still trying to find out exactly where I need to brake. And apparently that was a little too late. Doesn't help that I've forgotten how I navigated from previous times that we've had this combination. So I kind of have to just relearn everything. Alright, now here comes this chicane. The good thing is the car was finally on its best behavior. Flash, how's it going? Hopefully you've been doing well. I'm just over here just trying to have a chill little evening. Trying to see if I can get a decent time for a race A. As this is probably the more interesting combination for me. Just a time trial round. Okay, that was too late. Already out of 21-2, so I just gotta find a whole second. Do let me know if my mic is on the quiet side so I can bump it up. Actually, I don't even know if I can bump it up, but I could probably lower the game volume in. That way you can hear me a little better. Doesn't help that the mic is a little far out. That's because of the way the room is set up. I wish I could bring it closer, but I can't. I physically can't. Without having to tear down some walls. Oh god. The car gets sketchy pretty... it gets pretty sketchy right there. Yeah, honestly, same. I don't know what it is with daily races. Like, it's just not my thing nowadays. Like, I mean, every now and then, like, there'll be that one really interesting daily race where I'm like, okay, I'll see. Like, if I have time, I'll do a race or two. Like, what was it, the Suzuka with the JGTC cars? I thought that was interesting. So I did my best to squeeze in a little bit of time to do a couple of daily races there, and luckily I was able to go on where it was just pouring rain everywhere, so that was a lot of fun. But it's like, honestly, why am I doing that? Yeah, but honestly, it's like I look at the daily races, and a lot of times I'm like, I don't know. I'm tempted to say that's just a me thing because I feel like I tend to be really picky about which daily races I want to do. Glenn, thank you so much. Your comments getting blocked by the little heart icon thing. I can barely see through it. Yeah, thank you, Glenn. There you go. I had to like squint a little bit to read the entire message. Yeah, daily races. At least racing into daily races, just I don't know. It's not my jam as much nowadays, unless if it's a really good one or just one that has my interest for some silly reason or for a good reason. Depends on the race. That and I don't know why. Like I know I have it happen every now and then where for some it's like when it comes to these online races, at least in GT7 sport mode, whether it's a daily race, actually, like I mean, it's kind of understandable if it's like the GT World Series race where I get super nervous, but to the point where like I'm like having anxiety. But sometimes I get that same feeling for a daily race, and it's like, okay, what the hell's going on with me? And I hate having that feeling, so I kind of just shy away from doing a daily race. I gotta adjust this. How do you adjust this? It has been a while since I've adjusted the wheel settings. I'm trying to remember. I think there's like a button somewhere. Because this thing is rumbling too much. And I'm not liking it. This kind of tells you about how infrequent I am with playing racing games, or at least being on the wheel. Because there you go. I found a setting. Now I got a sensitivity, force feedback. It's at 80. Let's bring you down to 70. Hopefully that works. It's probably gonna feel a little numb, but at least that way I shouldn't hear it knocking around too much. Anyways, yeah, but for some reason when it comes to like a normal daily race, I sometimes just get so nervous to the point where like, I'm having anxiety. I don't know why. And I hate having that feeling, so I'm just like, maybe I'll not do a daily race. Whereas here in Time Chow, I'm just vibing here. Which is nice, and this now feels floaty. Let's bring it up to 75. It's still knocking. I wanted to try to figure out what kind of settings I'll need to make this thing shut up. Oh, how I mean, I think this is because I'm just chilling right now. Like I'm just trying to have like a nice chill evening. Which is probably why I'm just like not really caring if I'm messing up a lot or not. At least right now. And I'm still trying to get a feel for this track and car combination. And the wheel, so it's like, okay, I have a lot of things I need to try to get used to again, so I'm not feeling frustrated just yet. Yet. It's like once I know I'm like getting close to the limit, or once I'm about to break into the next second barrier, is where the frustration eventually starts to creep in. I'm trying to remember I know there was one combination where I was stuck on a point zero for a while, and I was getting super frustrated, and I was stuck there for hours, and then eventually I into the next second barrier. I'm trying to remember which one it was. Which one was it? I generally don't remember. Yeah, but there was one combination that I did kind of tick me off. See, now I'm just really trying to remember which one it was. I feel like I think it's probably made into like a video or something. If I see it, I'll probably remember which one it was. I'm tempted to say it was probably Dragon Trail Seaside with the Corvette C5. Yeah, I think it was that one. Because I remember I was hellbent on trying to break into the next second barrier, but at least to me, I feel like I had to nail everything down with very little room for error. But there's like some parts where you have to try to get the car positioned in a very specific way, and if you do it just right, then you can shave off a lot of time out of multiple corners. But then there's also those curves that you have to worry about at Seaside, and the Corvette hates those curves. So it's like you still have to take advantage of them, but like if you drive on it the wrong way, like the car is just gonna go out of its way to send you into the wall. It might have been that one, yeah. It's kind of coming back to me now. And I think I remember there was another combination where I spent multiple days trying to bring the time down. I don't remember which one it was, but there was one combination out there that also got me pretty bad, where I was just saying a whole bunch of colorful things. Whereas with this one, it's like I'm not really. Of course, my goal is to hopefully try to get a low 120 by the end of the stream, but it's like it's covered just like a loose goal. I'm not hard set on it. It's like if I hit it, it's nice. If I don't, it's whatever. I'll just sleep it off and maybe go at it another day. Maybe. Yeah, Yeah, the Corvette C5 at Dragon Trail Seaside. Yeah, that one was a tough cookie, and that one got on my nerves, especially those curbs. I remember there was one near the hairpin on top of the map where, like, if you hit it wrong, like, your car's gonna flip over. There's another one, I think it was at the S's, where if you hit it wrong, the car is just, it breaks traction, and you either, at best, lose multiple tenths, or at worst, it spins you out. And I think it was on sports medium tires, and that was still pretty tough. I thought it was gonna be like a little bit on the easier side, but it was definitely not easy. Could be worse though. Could be the 917K. Oh, I remember those days. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, so a few years ago, the Porsche Esports Cup or Esports Challenge had an event in GT7, but it was only open to those in the United States. And the way that they did the competition or the online qualifiers for one of the years was purely time trial. One of those, and each there was basically three chances to try to get in. And if you got in, like, they flew you out to Laguna Seca for the finals because they were doing the Rensport event there at Laguna Seca. There was one time trial where it was a Porsche 917K at Le Mans. I don't remember what tires it was on, but either way, whether it's racing hard, racing soft, whatever, it was so. That one was brutal. Because you have to pray that the car doesn't want to kill you for any silly reason. And you have to nail everything down. And then there was also people finding time in, like, the craziest places. Like, how are you finding time? And then you just see them do, like, this crazy little thing that gives them, like, half a second. It's like, what? Yeah. I remember trying that out. It was a bit of a nightmare. Yeah, sadly, I did not win that round, or I did not end up qualifying through that round. I didn't even qualify. I almost did. Because they also had the offline qualifiers where certain Porsche dealerships, did, like, they had a racing rig at their dealership. And you can basically just hang out there all day trying to get the best time that you can. Sadly, I couldn't be there all day because that would have been very nice. So the time I had, why is it still knocking? Hold on. I feel like PD did something with the wheel update. Because back then it was not knocking around as much, and now it's knocking around like crazy. Anyways. So I went to one of the dealerships. Luckily, it was only like a 30-minute drive. And I was able to set a decent time. The problem was that so the way they did it is that, like, they started in SoCal, and then the next weekend they went up to my area. Then the next weekend they went elsewhere, and I think they did that for like a couple weekends. The thing is, like, my location was the second stop that they were doing, and we basically had very little warning, or at least for those us locals that wanted to try to qualify this way. I think I only had like 2 days to try to see if I can get a good time to get good at the track, the car and track combo, and hope I can qualify. My time was good enough to hang out in the qualifying, because I think it was like top 4 qualifying. My time was good enough to hang out in the top 4 until the very end. So the problem is that for those who were in, I think in Georgia, guess what? They've had an entire month to prepare for this. So, and there's a couple of really fast people that are over there in that area. So, when it was their turn to try to set a time, my time was out. It would have been a miracle if my time stayed in the top 4, but I knew it was going to happen. I just didn't know when, and well, it was at the very end, their very last stop, where someone knocked out my time. And I did not qualify for Laguna Seca. It was still a nice little attempt, and they have free snacks, so I'm not mad. Grove, how's it going? Oh yeah, that in that combination, the Corvette season, yeah, it was a pretty. I think I can see gray hairs popping out in my head. That's probably because I'm stressed out all the time. But yeah, so that's what happened with the Porsche Esports Cup. I'm already forgetting which year. It was probably 2023. But what was cool was that one of the guys that qualified, he didn't have a. So what I found out was that for those that qualified, they had a +1, so they can invite anyone that they want to go with them to the Porsche Red Sport event that was at Laguna Seca. If I remember correctly, their significant other couldn't go because while Porsche, I don't know if it was Porsche or PD, they pay for everything for the ones that are competing. So like flights, food, hotels. But for their +1, they don't pay for that. And one of them knows that I live near Laguna Seca, so he was like, "Hey, my partner can't go because you have to pay for flights and all that stuff. Do you want to go?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want to go." It's just an hour's drive away. Hell yeah. Give me the deets. Give me the details. So even though I didn't qualify, I still got to go to Laguna Seca for the event, and it was still a lot of fun. And I got to meet a whole bunch of handsome people, like Mr. Cyrus, Mr. Windfire, Mr. Randy. And then I got to see some actual Porsche 917s in the flesh, which was crazy. I think there was like 3 or 4 of them that were just hanging out there in the paddock, and then they went racing later on in the day. It was a hell of an experience. And honestly, I think it worked out even better that I didn't go as a competitor, because I probably would have been like a nervous wreck. But just going as someone's +1, it's like, okay, I could just vibe around. I don't got to worry about anything. All I got to do is just, go support the guys when they do their finals. Because there's like a little tent. I don't know if tent's the right word, but there was an area where they were doing the finals within Laguna Seca. And then in there they had all the racing rigs. I think there was like 12 of them, if I remember correctly. 12 or 16. My memory's already getting a bit fuzzy, but and then in the middle they had what's probably, I don't know if it's a clay or they had a 101 scale model of the Porsche VGT. I mean, I don't think it actually drives or anything, but they had that there, so that was pretty cool to look at. And then of course, Kaz was there, so I got to finally meet him. I was I was starstruck, so I was rambling like an idiot in front of him. But yeah, it was all around a fun time. Got to sit. Ooh, yes. That's awesome. I would love to sit in one day, but I feel like I'm a little too big. Yeah, that's sick. Honestly, I hope I get to do that one day as well, or just in like in any supercar or hypercar. That just reminds me. So, this was back in 2018. So, the things that over in Monterey, so basically, like, it's probably like a 10-20 minute drive from Laguna Seca. So, Monterey and Carmel, for a full, basically a whole week in August, they have this thing called Car Week, where you get to see like the craziest cars just drive around, or they enter races, or they do a whole bunch of things over in that region. They even have auction houses selling some crazy cars. So back in 2018, one of the auction houses was selling a 250 GTO. And I remember, like, I went to go see it, and actually, what was really nice was that for some reason, like, there wasn't that many people there. Like, there was barely anyone, like, in that room where that Ferrari was. So I was like, well, if no one's there to take pictures, like, I'll just go crazy and just take all the pictures I want before it gets crowded. And I think one of the people that was actually interested in trying to buy the car, I guess he was like with a staff member, and they let him sit in it. I was so tempted to ask him if I could sit in the car. But I was like, no, I'll probably get kicked out for asking such a silly question when it looks very obvious that I just want to sit in the car just for the sake of it. But the thought of it kind of intrigues me. Even though I know the answer would have probably been no, get out of our event. Would have been even crazy if they said, oh yeah, come take a seat in the car. No, but just even breathing in the general direction of the car made me nervous. I feel like just looking at the car was gonna be the reason why the car loses value. Me looking at it. Wow, that was a terrible braking point. I needed to brake earlier. But yeah, so I went home that day, because I think that very same day was when they auctioned it off. It got sold for $48 million. It's like, holy... it was pretty crazy to watch. I think it's not the most expensive car anymore. I I'm not even gonna bother pronouncing its model name, but I know it's one of the old Mercedes from the 50s. That's they got auctioned off for like $130 million, which is insane. And I think it was like a rule. Mercedes was like, oh yeah, even though you now own the car, like you gotta show it in our museum for like 2 years before you can like whisk it away to some garage or whatever. At least that's what I've heard. I don't know if it's true. I know this year for Car Week, which I'm super excited for. I'm super excited for Car Week. There's some more crazy cars that are going to be showing up. Not as crazy as a 250 GTO. Actually, no. I'm going to take that back because there's a pretty good chance there's probably going to be one that's going to show up somewhere. I don't know where. I know there's one auction house that's going to be selling off a Bugatti Bolide. There's another one that's going to be selling a McLaren F1. Another one, and then the same one is going to be selling a Nissan Skyline Nismo 400R. A Ferrari F40 LM, so not modded, but like the actual LM car. And then what else? I'm trying to remember. I think it's called a Ferrari SP3. All I know is like the backside just looks absolutely wild. So I'm super tempted to just go to the auction house because you can pay to go preview or expecting the cars before they get auctioned off. So I'm tempted to go to that auction house that has the McLaren F1 to go get pictures of it, which I'm also convinced is also the F1 that I saw ages ago, because there used to be like a local Cars and Coffee event that used to be run every month, and one day, like I go there, I got there pretty early. And there was a McLaren F1 just chilling out there. And I was able to get some pretty cool photos before everyone started showing up. But that was huge. I don't know who owns it, but whoever decided to bring that car out, absolute Chad move right there. Same goes to this one guy who owns a Pagani Zonda, and he brought it out to that local car show another day. So it was really cool to see. But anyways, yeah. So that McLaren F1 that's getting auctioned off this August, I'm convinced it's the same one that I saw years ago. And I think they're saying that it might get sold for $23 million. Which is freaking crazy. I was gonna go to the auction window and be like, hey, I know you just bought this car for $23 million, but for $13,000, can you buy off my school loan? Be nothing more than a drop in the bucket for you, sir, or ma'am. Yes, the McLaren. Yeah, it's a really nice car to see. Like, if you ever get word that a McLaren F1 is going to be in your area, definitely go check it out. And I was looking at some of the other auction houses, and they have kind of interesting cars, but like these ones like the F1, the F40 LM, those have my attention. I was originally gonna go to the one that has the Bugatti Bolide, but McLaren F1, that one has my attention. F40 LM, that also has my attention. Yeah, and I think for the one that has the F1, I think it's $60 to go look at all the cars that they have. But I think as far as I remember, they're still adding more cars to their list. You know what? I kind of want to go see now. Because I remember the other week they didn't have the F1 listed yet. But then I think it was like sometime this week where they finally listed it. Yeah. So they have the Ferrari Daytona SP3 that they're going to auction off. Then there's the McLaren F1. I got to look this up let's look it up by value. High to low. Search. They have the Ferrari F40 LM, a Ferrari F50, a LaFerrari Aperta, a Ferrari 250 GT Cabriolet, a roof CTR1 Yellowbird, except it's not yellow, it's red? Mahogany? It's like a dark red. Okay, there's the SP3, the Ferrari 599 XX Evo, a roof CTR Anniversary. What else? Another F40, a Lamborghini Sion, which I'm probably butchering its name. A Lamborghini Miura, a Porsche 959 Comfort, a McLaren Speedtail, a 1904 Fiat. Looks pretty rad though. So that auction house, I think it's RM Sotheby's, that has my attention. Here in Australia, it's rare to see any supercar. Ooh, next year. Oh, yeah. Yeah, glad to hear that you're still able to see them. Yeah, it's always super nice to see them in person. Yeah. And as much as it'd be nice to own one of these cars, I feel like it'd be a nightmare to like maintain one and having to deal with all the fees of maintaining one. That's what scares me. Like, yeah, I have a $4 million car, but now I gotta spend like so much money every so often trying to maintain it. It's like that thing with Bugattis where I think it's like it costs like $30,000 or $40,000 to replace the tires. And it's like, no, thank you. I mean, you probably wouldn't be saying that if you have so much money to where you can afford a Bugatti and then laugh at the thought of having to pay so much money to change his tires. It's like, that's just a drop in the bucket. I don't know. I'll rent one. And then once I give the keys back, it's like, okay, it is no longer my responsibility. Awesome. Which also gets pretty interesting because during car week, what I like to do, I like to drive to different areas throughout the day. So it's like I'll start the day in one area, and then maybe in the middle of the day I go along this road called the 17-mile road. It's a super scenic area, but that's where a lot of like the crazy cars also like to show up. So I like to drive around there as well. And then I end up in another area for the rest of the day. I forgot what I was saying, so I'm just gonna shut up. I forgot where I was going with that. That's what I was gonna say. Sometimes you end up in really awkward traffic situations with multi-million-dollar cars. So you're just like, ooh. I mean, it's cool because you're driving right next to one, or like there's a crazy car right in front of you or right behind you, but you also want to make sure you don't hit it. Like one time when I was in Carmel, there was like a super narrow road, and I had to squeeze. I don't know how we made it work. It's like there was barely enough space for two cars going opposite directions. So like I'm like all the way to the right side, and there's just barely enough space. For oh my god, what car was he in? Oh my god, I'm trying to remember. I'll see it if I. It was a Jaguar. I know that. I'm forgetting the model name of the car. How embarrassing. I know it's a car that's getting auctioned up. Okay, a Jaguar XJ220. Was on the oncoming side, and I'm like over here, and we're just trying to like squeeze past each other. Slightly awkward situation, but we made it through without a hitch. We just had to be really slow and make sure that we didn't touch each other. And sometimes it's like that, and there's just traffic everywhere, so you kind of have to try to find a way to plan out your day where you have the least chance of getting stuck in traffic, which, good luck. Arkies, how's it going? Yep, yeah, I'm just doing race 8 time trial. This is one of those combinations where I'm like, hey, I don't mind doing time trial here. It's one of those where it's kind of easy to get a hang of, but hard to master, in a way. Question mark? But yeah, I'm just rambling around as I try and see if I can get a low 120 before I end the stream, which is probably a little over an hour from now. But doing all right, so in terms of time, so got that going, which is nice. Although the most exciting thing is that at Laguna Seca during Car Week, they also have some races going on, and I think it's called the Rolex Motorsport Reunion. So you get a whole bunch of racing cars from all sorts of eras where they just go and race each other. And I haven't taken a look at the list in a couple of days, so I don't know if it has been updated or not, but the lineup looks pretty cool. I know the one my dad is excited about because his birthday is during Car Week, so I got him some tickets so we can go look at the cars racing around together. And I know he loves Trans Am cars, and there's going to be a whole bunch of Trans Am cars racing each other there. So that's going to be pretty exciting to see, especially for him. I know there's a Mazda 767B that's going to be there. So, while it may not be the 787B that we all know and love, At least I'll get to be hearing some Dorito chip engines. What else? I know they have a couple of historic Formula One cars that are going to be racing around. They have a couple of the original Ford GT40s that are going to be racing around. What else? There's a lot of Porsches going to be from all eras that are going to be racing around. Sent it a little too hard. Yeah, but all in all, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I know the first time I took my dad to the racetrack to Laguna Seca, because that's the closest one here. When I took him to Laguna Seca the first time, it was for IndyCar, and he was over the moon about it. Like, he was having a really good time just watching these cars just go super fast to the corkscrew. Oop. It's still pretty boaty, and the car likes to bounce around at the chicane or the bus stop. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I also can't wait to do some car spotting at Laguna Seca, because I hear stories about how there's some crazy cars that are just parked at Laguna Seca during these events. I remember hearing someone say that one year there was a 250 GTO that was spotted parked at Laguna Seca, like at one of the parking areas. I'm just curious as to what this year's unicorn car will be, so there's always one car that like people are on the lookout for, and it's like you hear, you kind of just hear about it like rumors or posts on Instagram. I remember the one for 2023 was this one car called the Apollo Project Evo, where it looks like a spaceship. And I think at the time there was only one in existence. I don't know if it's still the case now, because I remember hearing that there is supposed to make 10 of them, but like there's only one so far, and that's like the prototype. I remember I was driving around a 17-mile drive, and I was getting ready to go home, but I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go through the scenic route just one more time before I drive back home and call it a day. And I park in this area because I see these two Porsches parked there and they were doing a photo shoot. It's like, okay, I'll swing by, like get a quick picture or two, and then come back to the car. So I park the car in this little parking area, go to the next one, get a couple pictures, and as I start going back to the car, I see a Mercedes-Benz 300 SL convertible driving around. I was like, okay, this looks pretty cool. So I get a couple pictures, and as I'm putting on the camera, I see an orange car that looks like a spaceship driving towards me, and I'm like, holy shit, that's the car. That was the car that people were looking for. Like, talk about being at the right place at the right time. And I was basically in a really good spot, so I was able to get some quick pictures of it as I was driving by. And man, I was fangirling so hard. And then when I got back to the car, I was just fangirling so hard. Like, it took me like a couple minutes to calm myself down before I could actually drive home. It's like finding the Holy Grail. that's what makes car spotting at Car Week so much fun. I know last year, sadly, I couldn't find the unicorn car, but seeing people find it was also pretty fun to look at. Because I think last year's unicorn car was a low-tech C1000. It's like a... I think there's only one of it in existence, and it was made in the late 90s. Yeah, sadly didn't get to see it, but I did get to see a Mercedes-Benz CLK GTR Roadster, which, if I remember correctly, is only 6 ever made. So I got to see that. That was really cool. I got to see the McLaren MP43 and the McLaren MP44. So, although the only thing I don't know is if that was the car that Senna drove. But that's still really cool to see. Good memories. Yeah, which makes me super excited about this year's Car Week. I don't know what the unicorn, I don't know if unicorn cars do. I don't know what's gonna be like the car to be on the lookout for this year, because I haven't heard that many things yet. The only things I know are about the ones at the auction house and the ones that are going to show up at Laguna Seca. I also got my little 120, so I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, I'm tempted to look after the stream ends and see if there's any word about what's going to show up. I'm also a little sad that I'm not going to the Quail this year. So the Quail is like one of the biggest, or actually it's not a big car show, but it's one of the most prestigious events. Like if there's one event that people really try to go to, it's the Quail. Like, I think they usually sell out every single year. And it's also raffle based, so you gotta get lucky. Unless if you pay a small fee to bypass the lottery and have access to buy the ticket. That's what I did last year. Because I have been saving up for so many years. Like prior to 2024, I was saving up for so long to be able to go to the Quail one year. And luckily, 2024 was that year where I was finally able to pull the trigger and well, not even like get lucky and get the ticket. I just bypassed it. So I already had the ticket, or I was guaranteed a ticket, bought it, and I was able to go. But my goodness, the thing about the Quail is that the tickets are so expensive. I mean, of course, let's be honest here, it's a rich people event. Even though I saved up all the money to go to the event, oh my goodness, I still felt it hit my poor wallet. There's like a big old hole in my wallet. Because the tickets to go to the Quail last year, actually to bypass the lottery and be guaranteed a spot at the Quail, $1,400. Yeah, it definitely left a hole in my wallet. But I mean, again, I was saving up for so many years so I can go to the Quail one year, and it just happened. It just so happened that last year, 2024, was that year where I was finally able to go. After saving up for I don't even know how many years. Yeah, as much as I wanted to go this year, it's like no, I gotta save up all over again. Give me like another 8 years and I'll probably go. So for that day, I got to cosplay as a rich person. I was also drinking champagne at 10 in the morning, which was quite the experience. Normally I don't drink. I also cannot imagine myself drinking alcohol in the morning, but I got to do that. Alright, thanks for stopping by, Arkies. Also, Glenn, thanks for stopping by. Wait, Arkies, you're still here. Never mind. I don't see myself going back to the Quail for quite a few years because it's super expensive. Which is why I'm hoping that for maybe next year I'll go to another even maybe Concorso Italiano, or if I want to be extra crazy, the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. That one, okay. So my issue with the latter, the Pebble Beach event. I mean, first of all, it's also pretty expensive. I think this year's was like over $300 to enter. That's part of the issue, but the second and the biggest part of my issue, I'd have to wake up super early because I think they open up at like 5 in the morning, and there's already a lot of people showing up at 5 in the morning, so you have to wake up incredibly early. I mean, if you have a hotel, if you're in a hotel nearby, like that gives you a massive advantage. But the way that I like to do it, because Monterey's not too far from here, I drive it. So it's like, if I wanted to go to Pebble Beach, I'd have to wake up like at 3 in the morning. And I'd have to leave the house by 4. Because at 5 in the morning, they open the gates, and everyone's starting to pour in already. And I kind of just ask myself, like, do I really want to do that? It's tempting, but it's like, do I really, really want to do that? For now, the answer has been no. Because this reminds me of one of my old jobs where I had to wake up like at 3 in the morning at times just to get ready for the way. Okay. Let me explain this, because in one of my old jobs, I was a school photographer, and our region is pretty big. So the thing is that I'm not only at one school for like the entire year. Like every day, I go to a different school. There's very rarely a time where I'm at the same school for more than one day. And on some days, I have to do this. So I start at home. I have to drive half an hour north to go pick up the stuff, like the equipment to take the photos, or like the files, or like the students that I'm gonna get the pictures of. And then I have to drive more than an hour and a half south and hope I don't get annihilated by traffic. But what I did, which worked, well, it basically worked all the time, was that if I woke up earlier and then did all the driving shenanigans, because there was usually always someone at the office for God knows what reason. Like, I'd be able to get the stuff, avoid the traffic, and especially like if I'm going to like an area I'm unfamiliar with, there's plenty of buffer time, so I don't have to worry about being late to the school. So I do all that, and then I'm just cruising to wherever I need to go. However, the problem was that they often sent me an hour and a half down south. I mean, I don't mind driving. I kind of like driving, but still, it's just like, okay, it's 5 in the morning, and I'm making my way down. Or it's 4 in the morning, and I'm making my way down. It gets a little tiring. But it's whatever. I needed the money. So I just had to suck it up for a while. And every now and then I'd get to the area I'd be at the area pretty early, so I could basically just mess around for an hour. So I'd just be walking around or just driving around aimlessly until it was time to go to the school to get ready to take the photos. But still, it's just like, I just had to wake up super early. It's just like, I'm not about that life. Yeah, which brings me back to Pebble Beach. I don't know if I'm up to wake up super early. That did not work. Yeah, all good, Arkies. Yeah, you're waking up and I'm falling asleep. Actually, let me see what the time is. It's 10. Only 2 minutes passed. That was the slowest 10 minutes. Although I am yawning a bit. Yeah. Although sometimes it was super sketchy because there's this. So there was a school I had to go to one time, and it's in a mountain forest. So I exit the freeway, and I start to go up the mountain roads, and it's just like thick forest, and it's nighttime, so I can barely see where I'm going. Even with the headlights, I can barely see where I'm going. There's like these hairpins that just jump out of you out of nowhere. So quite honestly, it was a pretty scary drive. In the daytime, it was not so bad when I was on the way back, but getting there at night was pretty scary. Damn it. I was getting a bit too greedy there. Yeah. That job was very hit or miss. Some days was fun, some days was not so fun. And then you also, but I think what did it for me was just that you just didn't know when you were starting your day and when you were ending your day. And there were times where I'd have to wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning, and those days were not so fun. Because it also doesn't help that sometimes you're there all day, and then you have to drive back to the office to drop off the stuff. And depending on the, because let's say, let's go back to that day where I have to drive half an hour north from home to pick up the supplies or the equipment, then drive an hour and a half south to the school to do the school photos, and then I have to drive an hour and a half back up north to drop off the stuff, and then half an hour to go back home. The thing is that depending on the time I left the school to go back to the office, I was either chilling, I was in a mad dash, or I was praying. Yeah, and it all depended on the time I left that school. So, like, if I left the school before noon, well, I'm chilling. Like, I'm not gonna have to worry about traffic at all. So I don't have to go crazy. If I'm leaving between 1 and 2 p.m., like I start to drive a little fast because I want to try to avoid the rush hour by the time I get to my hometown. Because on the way from the school to the office, I pass by my hometown. That's where a lot of the traffic is at, especially during rush hour. So if I was able to get through there by a certain time, then I shouldn't have to worry about traffic. But if I'm leaving the school at any time after 2 p.m., I started praying. Because I had a good feeling that I was gonna get stuck in traffic, and what would have been an hour and a half drive now turns into a 3-hour drive. Not fun. And then I still gotta drive back home, so now I'm fighting with traffic again. Not fun. Yeah, so I was only there for like half a year because it was a seasonal job. And they asked me, "Oh, hey, do you want to come back and do spring season?" I'm like, "No, thank you." No, thank you. $7:42. Good morning to you, sir, or ma'am, or friend. It is 10:44 p.m. over here, and I'm already half asleep. Normally, I shouldn't be starting to fall asleep until like an hour or two from now, but something about today is kind of doing me in. To where my body's like, you know what, you should go to sleep. No, I'm just gonna fight it. Probably doesn't help that this seat is pretty comfortable, and I've had times where the seat is a little too comfortable to where I start dozing off and maybe even fall asleep while sitting down. So it's like, and this happened a couple of times when I was trying to do the lap guides, where I'd be driving around, and then I pressed the options button, so like I'm in the screen now, and then I just close my eyes, and then my eyelids just get heavy. And then I doze off, and I just end up like this. And then I wake up like a few minutes later, or like a while later, and like I just feel my neck hurting because I was sleeping in a really bad position. It has happened a couple times. So yeah, so the pros of the Placey Challenge is that the seat is pretty comfortable. The con is that the seat can be a little too comfortable and you might fall asleep in it during your race. Because then hopefully if I have like an earbud in and if I'm listening to an ASMR stream, that's playing dangerously, because that's definitely going to be a great way for me to fall asleep. So have you guys been playing a game called Uma Musume Pretty Derby? if you have been, feel free to raise your hand or put a hand emoji or something. I don't know. I have been playing that game a lot. It's a lot of fun, but it's also super frustrating when your horse girl does not win the race, or when you lose by a smidge. I've had that happen a couple of times, and I'm just like, why? Good times. Oh no, Arky. Oh man, that's crazy. I feel that's like a legitimate fear now. Oh god. Well, I guess I know I'm not gonna get a headset now. I was thinking about getting a headset, but I don't think I don't know. Can't really see myself with one. I feel like it'd be a little too much to pay a lot of money to use it for one game, and then worse if I only use it for like a week or two and then just never use it again. I'm actually getting tired. All right, I thought this was gonna be like a 2-hour stream. I don't know about that now, Chief. I'm gonna say I'm blaming it for my run today, because lately I've been starting to go on. Okay, run is putting it nicely. Jogging is better too. I started jogging a couple of days ago because I'm trying to lose some weight. And I've been having fun jogging because compared to a couple of days ago, like I wasn't able to jog that far, and like a couple of days later, I'm already doing pretty good. I'm already jogging probably like almost 2 miles now. So I'm doing good there. But I can definitely feel that I'm pushing myself, especially because I weigh quite a bit. So that's probably why I'm like feeling a little tired. Come on. There we go. That's a little better. I'm hoping I can keep this up for a long time to come. Give myself a BOP update. And then there's a 5 kilometer run that I want to try and do sometime this year. So my goal is to hopefully be able to jog enough leading up to the event where I can do the entire 5K jogging. I mean, my pace is gonna be crap, but if I can do all of it jogging with and minimize the amount of times I have to walk or stop, then that'd be a huge W for me. Oh, I'm also gonna need it for car week because I'm gonna be walking around a lot during car week, especially if I go to Carmel. It's pretty hilly there, so I'll definitely need all the leg strength I need or I can get, so I can comfortably walk around all day over there. Yeah, it already feels like that over here. I'm hoping I can make it happen, but I don't know if because this is one event I'm looking at, one 5K event I'm looking at that I want to see if I can try to do it, but I don't know if it's a little too soon. But I'm gonna find out on the day of. I feel like I might be able to do it, but who knows? If I put my mind into it, then I think I can definitely do it. Alright, thanks for stopping by, our geese. Take care. Probably is going to be here for a little bit longer before I call it a night. I was hoping to be able to stream until 11:30, but I think that would be a bit of a tall order. And I already got the time that I want. A low. To me, this is a low 120. It's below 0.5. I'll give myself a couple more minutes and see if I can improve a little bit. Break late this time. Oh, the understeer. I feel like that probably could have worked, but oh well. Thank you, Ben. Thanks for stopping. And also, hello, Ben. I'm sorry. I'm like I'm a little sleepy right now, so I'm forgetting to English. Yeah, thank you for the kind words, Ben. I really do appreciate it. Let me just put the phone back over here because you guys are hanging out over here to my right on a little phone. Yeah, thank you again for the kind words. I'm also half asleep. So if I start rambling about really random things, I do apologize ahead of time. Though I might just call it in a few minutes. But I'm also really stubborn and want to see if I can try to improve by just a little bit more. Usually I don't get sleepy at this time, so it's really, really strange. I think I was right on the limit. Oh, that was off track. Little too much beans right there. Let's see what this could have been. I think this would have been the .2. Damn. Could have been a 20.2. Oh, we gotta go back. I don't think that was the best turn ever, but we'll keep going and then just send it at the bus stop. The only thing that's a bit of a shame is that I'm not going to be able to stream this weekend. I'm going somewhere, so I won't be able to stream. However, what's going on next week? Give me a moment. I need to see what next week is looking like. Calendar. I don't think I'm doing anything at next week or next weekend. Not this one, but the next one. Because I know this weekend I have a convention. But I think next week or the weekend after I don't have anything going on. I don't think so. I know there's like a smaller convention that I was interested in checking out, but I think now it's a bit later. Oh wait, shoot, no. Oh no. I think because I know August is gonna be a pretty busy month. Because I know I got Car Week, and then there's a couple conventions I want to go to. But I think. Yeah, I think next week, I mean, technically it's like not completely August, but there's a couple days in August next week. I think next weekend, not this weekend, but the weekend after, I think that's probably going to be the only weekend where I can stream in the weekend. Shoot. Because I know there's 2 conventions before Car Week that I'm looking at. And then there's Car Week. And then I skip out on Car Week on Sunday to go to a convention. I mean, I don't think I want to be at Car Week on that Sunday because I've heard traffic is nightmare incarnate on Sunday. And then I think there's another convention towards the end of August. So yeah, pretty busy August. Almost reminds me of May and June. Although what I'm thinking about doing for Car Week is recording a couple videos there. Basically be like, hey, like this is me at Car Week and like let's see all these cool cars there. I've been thinking about doing that. It'd be cool if I can get a GoPro, but I don't think I'll be able to get one for Car Week. At least I don't want to pay $300 or whatever for a GoPro that I'm probably only going to use once a year. So I'll probably just have to resort to using the camera on my phone for all the recording. The cool thing is that it can record 4K. Yeah, it can record in 4K, which is pretty cool. But I feel that's probably going to kill my battery. I guess we'll find out. Day of. I'll have a power bank with me, so I shouldn't have to worry too much. I don't know if that was off track. Yeah, that was off track. Damn, that would have been a nice time of 120.420. Nice. Let me just check something real quick. Nothing. Okay. So how about that GT7 update? The update that I'm just gonna be going in with no expectations. But yeah, definitely not gonna be holding my breath about it. Probably the only thing I look forward to are the engine swaps, so hopefully we get something pretty cool. Shoot, even better, can we get it tracked now? And just, yeah, going in with no expectations. Which is, I feel like it's probably a good way to look at this update. Just going with no expectations. you're not really looking forward to this update, I mean, I don't blame you. Some of these updates have been kind of lackluster, in my opinion. I kind of just look at it and I kind of just forget about it. Nismo, how's it going? I'm doing alright. I'm half asleep. Hopefully you're doing well. And thank you for the good luck. I'm trying to see if I can improve my time by a little bit more before I fall asleep, but I feel like I'm starting to see some sheep running around in front of me. I don't know who let the sheep in. Eyes are starting to get a little heavy. But what I can say is that on Friday I'm going to stream whatever the new laptop challenge is. I would say Thursday, but I might be busy on Thursday, so I'm just gonna have it on Friday, just to play it safe. That kind of worked. It was messy, but it worked. I swear, if that's a 119, I'll be ecstatic. I doubt it, though. Not a 119. We're close to it, but a very lower 120. I'm pretty happy about that. Yay! We got a 120, low 120. I'm pretty happy I was able to do that in just one night. Now the question is, can I get a 119? Probably yes, but it's definitely not going to happen tonight. Be crazy if I could, but I'm a little tired. Yeah. Nismo, did you let all the sheep? I think I'm counting like 20 here. Alright, so great start. We are down here. I have not seen this person in a while. It's good to see them. I know they love doing time trials, so I know actually especially back in GT Sport, I'd often see them put in some pretty fast times, so it's good to see them again. Even though I have no idea who they are. Juby Dooby, alright. Good to see you again. Uncle Lester. Who else? There's Tijani. The Norms, I think I see them on GT Planet. Brown Beast, I see him every now and then. There's Juby again. Who else? Even the police is putting in some pretty banger times. And okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get some sleep. Though, yeah, it's just weird that I'm getting a bit sleepy at this time because, Usually it doesn't happen for another hour, but I guess today's just one of those days. By the way, happy to get my level 120. Told you it was gonna happen, chat. But anyways, let me bring this up because I have to now. I have to actually switch the monitor mode over to DVI so I can actually look at the screen and the thing. But anyways, yeah, that's gonna be it for this stream. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. If you like the stream, feel free to hit the like button and to subscribe and all that good stuff. But that's all from me. This is Mr. CA going to sleep, and yes, I'm a hike. Yeah, I did see them. Yeah, but that's it from me. Take care, everyone. Have a good. I think some of you guys are over in Europe, so have a good day if you're over in Europe or wherever you are. Have a good night or a good day. All right, take care. See you, Nismo. See you, Chatini. Bye bye.